Okay.
Check your dashboards. Go to
Uh,
your dashboard. Make sure it has
Sharing things. Okay, check
permission.
one.
Go to YouTube. I'm gonna check your YouTube.
What? Uh, Wait, go to YouTube?
Yeah, you're live. You're live on
Okay,
YouTube.
so it's working. Okay, good.
You're
So
live on
that
YouTube.
now I can do things and such?
Now you're streaming on two different platforms. Good job.
Wow. I did good. Okay, time to
Now,
actually start streaming.
I'm
No,
playing
act.
a game.
Okay. Okay,
So
good.
you're even starting stream soon. Now you're not. You're no longer.
What?
Twitch is ahead of YouTube, bro.
Also, for some reason, my most viewed video on YouTube is for some reason Duck Life Retro Pack full game 90%. It doesn't even have a record in the title or anything, and it's literally just an hour. Like what? And then it's followed by by I think one of my first streams that were on YouTube. Like how? Why?
Bro.
Also, the Duck Life Retro Pack one wasn't a record. I didn't put in the title or anything.
Does everybody like the victory lap?
Yep. Evidence.
Uh,
So do you know what I'm trying to accomplish currently with this time trial?
yes, we're trying to do the thing where you jump, you get hit off the thing, and you jump, then you fly to the other side and go in the chest.
Uh, well, yeah, sort of like that. Um, oh, yeah, let me fix that. Um, yeah, so for some reason, this game is weird and it doesn't like it whenever you put it in full screen or something, and is slower than what it's actually supposed to be. Like uh, something. What is what? I am getting greatly confused. Okay,
Okay,
buddy.
it's good now. Good now.
Yeah, I'll probably do Battle of Milief later. Um, After I get bored of trying for this like 20 minutes because it's not exactly the best recovery to go through. Or like if I do land a jump and don't like slow down so much, I like you will get in like top 10 position if you like land this thing and don't completely botch it afterwards. Um,
Have you done this before?
I've never gotten the shortcut to work before, but I have come close. It probably doesn't hurt that I'm really bad at actually timing it, so I hit the fence.
I think you're probably you need to hit the fence and then you jump off the
Yeah,
fence.
yeah, so you gotta touch like the very tip of the fence or something, and then jump off of that, and like it requires a timing with the delayed jump. Then you also need to fly in the correct direction to hit off one of the um, boulders. You want to hit off that one. Um, and like jump up and then ideally you want to go directly into the castle, but even a landing like in a close vicinity is probably good enough to get you top 10. What was that game? I don't understand this game, right? So whenever I stream it just like becomes garbage, but I can play on like, and I have to like turn down the quality settings, right? And it's really bad frame rate and such or something. And then like whenever I'm not streaming, Ultra runs perfectly fine. Like what? Runs with the highest settings and everything. And so this game doesn't actually have cheaters, like it did in Rocket Raiders 3. Or maybe the cheaters actually drew a conscience and thought, oh, maybe having like a 0.006 second time maybe is a bit unrealistic. As far as I can tell, there's no new cheats. We'll give us riveting content. I might try to do some of the other time for us. This game's also way more competitive, as far as I can tell, than Rocket Raiders 3. Like, if we go to the map selection, a time like this, which is very, very good, is, like, is near perfect with the strategy that I used. As far as I can tell, is only 26th place. I don't have the best strategy, and I do know a better way of doing it. I just can't actually do it that well. Like just point 2 is 16 places. Essentially, what you do in this one is you. Here, I'll just show you. A lot of these maps are also very grindy in the fact that like you basically just do attempts a bunch and hope that you randomly clip the ground in the most specific way. You don't want to clip the ground like that. But so you clip off of that, right? And then jump afterwards and fly over both of the things. But it's very hard to even get it clipped. It puts you in that direction, and then also gives you a decent end. So you don't have to go over too many things, over too many holes or something like that. Discord. Oh, he left. Yeah, but so that is a thing. There are also a decent amount of other shortcuts. I do have the second place actually for this one. That wasn't even that good of a run. It's just that I used every shortcut. Every shortcut the world record uses. Technically, I know I have at least third place since at best I have third place because um it doesn't group PC and X and console together. So I know that there's at least one person other than the person on the leaderboard who's done better. Maybe it's on YouTube. There's probably maybe a few other people. I know the world record's at 27 or something. It uses a very specific end that I really don't like. It's because of this end section, which is why I really don't like this one that much. Like, on top of everything else, so like, you can get somewhat consistent at some of the other things in this map. Like, for example, you do this one. Like, you can sort of get for like a feel of where you need to go. Excluding the slightly better version, which is just stupid, and I hate it, so I don't do it. Like this one, like this start, you can get an attempt every, like, a few attempts. But sometimes you just, like at the end, you basically just hope that it works properly. And also that, you do want that. So I don't even know if the run that I know to be the best run that I have seen on this map. I'm not even sure if it's the world record anymore, since apparently either I just can't find videos on YouTube of people like a world record on this run other than the one video that I saw that had runs for every single thing. Those were world records for years ago. I'm not quite sure if all of them are world records now. Like, for example, one of them is like a few of them I know aren't, and it's a person on console, so I can't ever really so I can't like look without finding a fairly recent. Like, it would just take so much effort to actually find that stuff out anymore. I really need to not be hitting that thing on that little pump. Oh, the end. That end was a bit rough. Still pretty good. The world record, the 27, does some just insane crap. Which I just do not know why you'd ever want to actually risk to do that. They like bounce off of so they hit more in the middle there, at the last platform, and then do it in such a way that they manage to like that they like bounce sideways along the ridge of the platform to keep momentum in that direction, which is just, why would you even go for that? I have a feeling that might have just been an actual accident that it even happened. And so that probably isn't that hard. I'm just bad at consistency a lot of things. Well, at least consistency in the end. And I really don't want to go for the better approach for this start, because like it is like at first whenever I first went onto this level, I tried it and it wasn't very fun to go for it because it requires you not jumping off of things. I need to remember. It's difficult to remember because like you see that and you think you're gonna land and then roll and then jump off, but that's not actually what you want to do. You want to do what you want to do in that case. That's not what you're gonna do. Gaming. What you want to do is you want to land and then jump, because it's like slightly slanted downwards. Oh, what would it be? It's slightly slanted downwards, that part, so you're not gonna land after that. It's really hard to like remember in that moment. Also, there's another way you can actually do this, and I'm not really sure if it's if it's actually that much faster, but it's basically where you bounce off of that and then go farther to the right than normal. Actually, it looks like it's maybe a tiny bit. It's about the same speed probably. And then you double jump off of the tiny little like arrow like hand signpost thing. You can double jump off of some objects in this game, um, like trees and such. And it's actually pretty consistent. At least I've done decently consistent. And uh, sure. Yeah, sure. I guess. If like you can sort of do it like that, and if you land in that direction, it might be slightly faster if you keep enough speed. Also, one of the other reasons why I'm not really doing the start approach, like where you do that but then land and turn like that, is because I think it might either be just way too hard or literally impossible. Because controller gives you better movement, and I refuse to use a controller for actual runs. Controller is also a lot harder to like turn as sharply as it allows you to. Oh, I know I can get the world record for PC on this. Oh, that's pretty much the same pace. Oh my god. And also, I'm pretty sure I have seen some of the Rock of Ages 1 world records, and I do think that I can probably top some of them. I think that's actually the only game, it's the only game that actually has the time trial world records on speedrun.com, which means that probably a lot of them might not actually be world records, just because, people on consoles and such, and the fact that you actually have to have a recording for it to count. Because I don't think it actually had a leaderboard. They do look pretty, like, not exactly easy, but I feel like there's a lot of areas that I could definitely improve on it. Like, for example, like, the world records are close, and they're not bad. It's just, some of them have really simple levels that look like, probably pretty easy to actually optimize. Like, for example, like, I think it was Rome that I watched the world record video for, and it looks pretty easy, to optimize it. Okay. I don't think that's PC record, but that was pretty good. I can be happy about that. Let's see. Ooh. Ooh. I think I might actually have to start doing the or I need to see if I can get the other start approach, and also I lost ground contact for like half second longer at the start. So Whenever I grinded the strike before, I never saw that. I never really had that small little like nub actually like get hit by it. I don't think. There's nothing like I don't really remember ever being hit by it. Okay. Oh wait, no, that's not how that works. I guess. Oh, I guess. Yeah. The problem is that you have to be very specific how it works. Because there's like you have to land on the right part of the road. And you also have to turn sharp enough um to to not to not fall off. Which I'm not even sure if it's really possible without slowing down so much in PC. I also, could do that. But now I have to actually care about the more minor things. Or I could just do this, but try not to hit any like small rocks or anything. And just do slightly better. Also, I'm not going as risky as I could. Okay, that's still. Um, as I could with the delayed jumps. Um, because so you want to maintain ground contact as much as possible. So you can delay your jump to um after you've left the platform. Well, yeah, I know. I'm so consistent in getting that. Um, but yeah, so you can delay your jumps to slightly better with that, or get slightly more speed. It just lets you build speed more, have a bit more control by having more ground contact. Uh, I sort of want to try doing that more often, but like I feel like I'm not gonna be able to get it nearly as consistently. If I go for that bottom. I'm not even sure if it's better than the way that I just did. It's definitely like close. It didn't let me jump. It didn't jump enough. Bruh. I'm not even sure what's the best way to do that that sands part, because I know that the best run that I've seen, which is a 27, does it where they or like they end up like around in the middle from the center um and the players or whatever um and the two poles or whatever and then they jump out of that. But sometimes that doesn't really work, and you can just fly all the way over, and sand slows you down. So I feel like that might be a better idea. My way that I've done it. I think the way that I did my PPE was better. I'm not sure. I really need to get better at turning my camera quicker. It's like I turned my camera way too late there when I could have probably made it without hitting the thing if I turned it faster. Better. But like when I get stuff like that, that's definitely not good. Yeah, I think the way that I get all the way over the sand hole like that is by hitting a certain rock and then jumping afterwards. Like, since there are a few like rocks in between the crevices there. How I landed. Let me make sure the mushroom hasn't been killed. What are you doing? What are you doing? Please stop. 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 What are you doing? No, stop. What? Huh? Okay. Okay. My stream is not included. This is pretty good. Yeah, that's definitely an upside. Yeah. Yeah, the like restream chat thing, is like its own like window is a bit wonky. I've noticed in like the 30 minutes of using it. Ah, I'm jumping too early. I need to jump at the top of that small bump. That's when I need to be jumping. I'm gonna try for like a bit longer. I do want to do some battle with stream, and that's exactly what I wanted to stream first. And actually, I wonder. You could probably find a way to get from the middle of the of like the twisty parts to the to the last part. Where do you use it? Ah. I actually used to not be going for this way of doing it until I realized I found a weirder way because I thought clipping it with my experience with the first track in the game, I thought that clipping it in the specific way that you need to actually get it to work wasn't gonna happen. Until I actually tried it just randomly. Wanted to try it during a run, and it worked. Well, at least like the clipping part worked. So then I realized that it actually wasn't as hard as I thought. It's still not that easy, but it ain't really hard. Oh my god, oh, okay. That could have been it, I think, if I didn't click there. Or at least spin a PB. No! That could have been it. I think I could have stayed on. I jumped. I panicked. Oh my god. That could have been a 27. I panicked, so I jumped. Oh, I didn't jump. That was actually so close to being so good. That 26 is definitely possible then. I can land it right there. I really thought that wasn't gonna work. When I saw like the way that my shoulder flew off. Oh. You know, I bounced off the face. It's probably what the if there is a 36 on or a 26 time on console, that's probably since you could probably do that much, you probably could have blended that much easier on console. This console is it's slightly better for controls. Very well shaped, really. Oh no, I could have. Oh. What, could I do that? Just got an idea. So I just saw that, right? So I jumped there, but I probably could have not jumped there. No, you. No, you, Bob. Bob, well, why don't you get a sub 30? Yeah? Get a sub 30. Yeah, I do have a. What do I do? Okay, but so the plan is to do the same thing except for going much more left at that that part. Or after the jump. Um, and then well, hopefully getting like in between there, then bouncing um off at like um yeah, you'll see it. Like bouncing off of like the edge of some things like that. Oh, like crunch stuff. To try to go more left. At that part. Um, to the castle. I'm gonna try not to. Or I don't want to reset if I like make some more minor mistake that maybe only waste a bit of time. But like if I um. Oh yeah, so you can do that. It also gives you really wonky like landing. Which is why I think it might not be the best idea to try to do that because it's harder to get and um much more wonky. What was that? Funny thing is that that was actually only maybe like a second behind you with it. Also, I probably should use to bring out my input display for this game, but honestly, I'm not gonna do that. Also, Bob, before you call me back, um, do you have any I don't know, like top 10 times in Rocket League Street? Do you? That was so close. It might not have been it, but still, that was so close. It's sort of how I want it to work. But like slightly better bounce off of them, so they don't have to bounce that raw. Just you can jump off of that fence. Or you can do a double jump off that fence. It'll probably lose you a bit of speed, but you can do it. And I should be turning sharper on that. Yeah. Hmm. I'm gonna fix some things with frameworks. Um, it's not working exactly as it should. Yeah, good. Definitely. I think 26 is probably possible if you get like a crazy end. Yeah, I don't really understand how that sand pit works exactly. Because sometimes it lets you jump out of it perfectly fine, and you can jump, yeah, you can jump out of it perfectly fine, and gain a decent amount of height from the jumps. And sometimes it just says no you, and it won't let me put that part. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to actually be trying to go for this approach, because it will probably not let me we can't really salvage any runs that don't get it properly. You're probably just adding more. One of my best friends are actually improving that time. But actually getting good at the game, because we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that really. I need to finish this game. I make YouTube videos on it, but like I really should do more. Because like I really want to speedrun it and to think it might be slightly more fun than speedrunning Rocket League is free. I'd like to focus more on or less on being like just totally consistent, like a Rocket League straight, where you can basically just get the world record. Also, Humpty Dumpty exists in that, which means that like anyone who can do Humpty Dumpty in that game, within like the first try, or a few tries on those ones, will probably very easily beat me if they have a worse run. And it's it's just good enough. And it's like 3 hours, right? So every time I make like if I lose like a single level, I'm basically the entire run is just dead, pretty much. And that's much less annoying if the run is only 2 hours long. Like focusing more on speed. Well, maybe I shouldn't be going for this approach. I think it might be slanted downwards so much that it really doesn't work that well. Just roll over the thing. I probably need it to be more precise on that and farther out to the left, which might make it not even worth it. And also, even if I did get it, I'd probably have to be bounced specifically with enough speed towards the fences that it probably just isn't very realistic to do that. It's like I want to get the PC world record sometime this month maybe. I'll actually do the thing. So close. If I didn't hit that rock, I could have get that something. Yeah, but so you can do that apparently on PC. The faster way after the beginning. But I really don't want to depend on that. It's already hard enough to hit the end. I think the bottom route is probably more likely than getting that. And also it makes you have a ton of speed here, which means that you can barely do the turns properly, and might actually lose you a bit of time that you actually gain because of that. Just turning like that. Oh, you know what I could do there is I could try to just run into that little part and hope that it realigns me in a way that keeps a lot of my speed going in the right direction. So like that makes sense. Also looking at the stream, it is not totally dying from this, which is, that's a good thing. And some of my previous Rocket League streams weren't working very well. Oh, so close. It's just so close. So close. I can be probably pretty happy with the time that I have, since I think it's my top position on any track. I think I've only gotten into the top 10 a few times. And probably my only other very realistic chance. Oh god. Yeah, I think I might have to change my approach. Or try to do what I was doing. It's slightly better, but okay, let's see. So this isn't top 10. This isn't top 10. I've gotten close a decent amount. That's very close to top 10. Close. All of my runs, this one I didn't really try that hard to get the normal way. I went maybe with the shortcut and didn't get it. This one's a bit further off. Actually, I am in top. I got 4th place on this one. In this one, I didn't get some tracks. I tried to do some shortcuts on, and then never really focused on actually getting a good run with the normal way, since I wanted to try to do the shortcut. So most of them ended up being pretty bad, since I just got the gold medal and then tried the shortcut. Yeah. Let me. Oh, that's bad. Actually, I feel like I could probably jump off there, without jumping immediately as I land. If I land far enough back there, because I'm landing decently far back that time. So I probably could get a jump So that probably would give me less height than this one, because might not make it. Yeah, I don't think I've ever done anything like that. I do right there. I jumped off of it and then I jumped off of that. What if I haven't done that? Yeah. Cool. Onto the side. I should probably be talking about it. I'm still very bad at talking like decently loud. Wait, I just realized something. Might be able to do something better there if I jumped earlier. Maybe. Oh no, not even a PB. Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to do. So either I can do. So either I can just pray for a lucky uh, direction change from hitting the edge, or I can pray, or I can just try to do some just like what I'm trying to do off it, or just try to go faster. I'm gonna go for the riskier way of doing it. To try to like, no, just like, you're just to land farther, up or left, the closer to the castle, and hope that I get more speed. Oh god, that was, oh god, no. I don't understand how I lost so much speed there, but I did, so. Probably because of the how many jumps I spent in the center. Oh, I think I jumped before I even hit it. You know what? What I could do is I could try to reduce so what I could try to do is I could try to reduce my airtime from that from hitting that by by jumping slightly after, or intentionally jumping more after I hit it. If I do that right, I might be able to get to that to only go up like one zigzag, and then be able to jump down to the next one and be more be closer. Like so, like wait a bit after before jumping, then like going and turning as hard as I can to this way, and then trying to double jump off of him. Like it might work. Double jump off the fence. Okay. Though it probably have to be pretty precise timing to do it, since like when I jump it, like maybe just slightly after I hit, it still puts me pretty far. I forgot to jump that time. Or a different thing I could do is I could try not to jump at all. Like I just did there. Yeah, that might actually work. Yeah, what directions and I don't know. Hmm. Let's probably check to make sure that it's actually or that it's actually streaming on YouTube. And so when it is well, no one's in chat. Just watch on YouTube. Um, I think I'm jumping too early there. Um, Jumping before I even before I even hit it. Just really want this ruler since it's the closest I've really ever been. Like, sure, there was that one that I got fourth place in. But to be fair, that's probably more just that people didn't even know that shortcut existed. It's a bit of a complicated shortcut, and the world record, I don't really know how they even do it. Actually, that one was pretty slow. I think it's at 26, and I was right there. I was probably getting there to like 24. Yeah. Or maybe I'm just misremembering things. I thought in my run I got there at like high 24 on average. Oh, you know what I could do? Probably not a very good idea, but what I could do is try to do something like that, and then and go hard enough left to hit off the boulders, to maybe get more speed. I don't know. It's probably not gonna really work. Well, it like a lot of these ideas definitely can work. I think. Just actually, like the likelihood of me actually doing them is not very high. Playing this one track actually. Oh, I thought I clipped off the thing. I thought I bounced off the tiny little rock. Apparently I didn't. Um, I want to clip. Okay. I want to hit it. Actually, it might have to do with how much speed I have. Oh my god. I honestly feel like hitting on the second thing and then jumping over the third and then doing a double jump off the fence is probably the best idea. Because it probably land me the farthest to the left. Problem is, it's probably going to be too uncontrollable to even hit it, since, well, if I double jump off of the fence, well, it's probably not going to be very controlled of where I'm going. Yeah, I can definitely hit there. try to slow my jump more. And then, problem is I'm also probably gonna have to turn really hard to even get there. And probably use a lot of speed trying to do that. Because like if I turn before that, then I'm gonna have to delay my jump even more. You know, at a certain point, probably just won't even be. I can't even delay them. This track. I like that it's fun, but it's also just really, really just basically just like you got this start section, which isn't that bad to get, but like getting it fast is getting the best way to do it is very hard. Then there's the and there's getting that jump properly. You don't lose too much speed. And there's getting that end properly. It's just, God, it is just a lot. Also, I'm very bad at delaying my jump. Really, like, I've done this trick, to the point where I instinctively, press the jump button there. And it's hard for me to think about, any time that I try to, like, change my strategy in a track in some, like, major way, or, like a minor way, sort of, to change how I do it. It always is hard to actually do it, because I've already, since I've already done it so much that I always try to do it again in the same way that I have been doing it. And I have to consciously think that I don't want to do it like that. Oh God. I could jump off, or I could go off that rock. All this probably isn't even necessary to get it. To get the run, I just probably need like the same end with like slightly better things. Like slightly better. Just doing slightly better would probably be enough. Jumping more left, like that's probably just enough to get it to work. But I'm not. But I probably should be doing that too. Instead of trying to do crazy things to try to get it. I would just like make my jumps slightly more delayed to get it better. And all that's probably just enough to get it on its own. The way that I did the end before. So I probably should be doing that. And a tiny bump right there probably uses like 0.2 of a second on its own. Because I'm not in contact with the ground as much as I could be. So and I get less speed, especially since it's in the beginning and I just threw off one object. I'm probably not at full speed. So, like minor things like that. Like, so there's, so I need to try to get that more consistently. That bounce off the rock in the middle. It's right now I'm just sort of going at it and hoping it gives it to me, which is probably not going to happen very often. I probably need to like drive over meters before, since I think it's like a tiny rock in between the crack, just jutting out just a tiny bit, and that's what I think that's enough. Actually, that bounce probably doesn't reach 0.2 in a second, but. Maybe I should even just slow down. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should just slow down a bit at the end to get a better line. That might actually just be a better idea. To be honest, like slow down a tiny bit, readjust, and get a better line, and to end more to the right. That could probably still result in a good time. Yes, well. After I get the after I either get the record for this track or fail and give up for now, I'll probably do like I run into battle. Planning on doing battle in the first place. But I lost a lot of time there. Yeah, the sand pit approach, going in the sand pit is definitely good. Even just like, just barely touching in there, reduces your speed a decent amount. Like before a spot where you really need to be going fast. Oh god. Problem is, I could probably do that, much better if I knew, like, if, like even just like a few seconds before that I was going to get a bounce in the way, or just be able to know how I'm gonna bounce, but like, uh, and be able to react better, because technically the angle you want to keep the most speed while turning with your camera is diagonal, 45 degrees in whatever direction, to keep the most speed. I'm pretty sure, but like, but it's hard to like think of that in the moment, so I just sort of turn my camera a bunch, to the left. Really, probably isn't helping as much as it could be. How did I not hit it? Huh? I think I got a better idea of how to do that bounce more often. The problem is that like that midsection right there, like that midsection makes it so that I can't full turn to the left, turn to the right, so I can't turn to the left, throughout that entire part of the jump, because otherwise, I wouldn't make it, or it wouldn't work right, or I'd like land in between, so I have to do all of the turning left right afterwards, which isn't very long at a time. I did just have a thought, but what if I turn to right? And so I think there's a fence on that one to the right, and I could potentially use that, or just turn to the right. I think that's pretty small too. I mean, so it goes up there, so I could. Alright, so I have an idea. So if we turn right enough, it might be able to land again and jump, there, and that might be, that might put us in the right position to do it. It's still not sure if I could, how the end would work. How, because I'd have to turn, like, really hard. Yeah. Yeah. Also, I could probably do that bottom route more often if I know I said this before, but like my reaction time to realize that I should turn to the right is basically like I'm so slow that I just end up doing it basically like um like directly before I hit it. It's just so slow. Like half a second before I hit the rock. Probably less than that really. So yeah, because whenever I get bounced there, like unlike that run, which is very slow, whenever it's really fast, it takes me like a full second to realize that I can actually, you know, that I can land it properly. Okay, I need to go more. I got to on this week. Okay. Let me start this with slow. I might start battle soon, because this is. Well, I haven't had a cheat in like 20 minutes or something. I do have a better idea of how to get that bounce though. So there is a tiny little nub or whatever, and you wanna slow down sort of by turning, and going over it. Like you see right there, that probably could have been good enough, to be really fast start and go on the bottom path if I was fast enough to react, to the fact that I can, the fact that I'm going more to the right. I can probably actually always turn to the right whenever whenever I bounce off of it, because I generally want to be more to the right. Um, to go on the bottom path, you need to go on the right, and then well, I also generally land on the left. So we have to. Oh my god. I should probably be getting the end thing more consistently. Like, I know how I can probably do it more consistently. I'm just not very good at doing it. Just do that. You know, maybe I should just try to do what I was doing before and just do it the normal way. Instead of trying to come up with new tactics. Just, like, the old way is definitely how I think how the PC World Record the number one did it. So I can definitely beat it. Or so either like I think that the person who has the world record on PC right now either got a really lucky end or something and did like okay at and had not the best driving everywhere else, or they had like or they did the normal way end and had pretty good driving. Yeah, like the second one was probably more likely. It's only if I like I think I'm also probably jumping way too early there. You know what you probably could do is probably double jump off of that fence and land like in maybe like so in between there. So in between like um two of things or the last snake part, twisty part. I should probably go for the way that the best jump I've ever seen. Does it, which is by just praying that you get redirected. Oh, yeah. By not jumping. I think at the end, right before the straight section, when trying to transition to the straight section, by not jumping, and just hoping that you win. Okay. But yeah, I definitely jumped too early there. But and hoping that like you ride the edge sort of and then go back on top, not losing too much speed and getting redirected to the right area. Obviously is the best way to do it because well yeah, it definitely is the best way to do it. Because you don't land that speed than you would have if you did it at the very end, like how I've been doing it. And I'd probably not even jump there if I wanted to. And not jump off that tiny little fun. God. Probably just be here until I'm told I need to go to sleep. Like, I mean, like, you could probably like, do some weird stuff. There's just so many ways that you can do the end that makes this track really hard to grind. Because, like, any way that you could do the end is probably not the best way. But the best way is, like, 20 times harder. Or 20 times, requires 20 times more luck than the way that you're doing it. Like, the way that, like, I'm doing it, you know, maybe I shouldn't try to do the really quick hoping to reach the next. Used to feel like the person who or the best ones that I've seen probably did it on accident. Or if just because like actually doing it, like trying to intentionally do it is probably not gonna happen. Without some absurd amount of attempts. Probably the best I can hope for is that like I get a small bounce from like the corner in between those two parts, and then hope that that's good enough and sends me in the right direction. Oh god. I also want to get like I like doing the shortcuts in these games because you know they're fun and like they're definitely not easy. But I feel like some of them really don't even like they're barely like this one is fun because you still play the track a decent amount in like say oh my god actually you can bounce off a rock but oh my god like for example in Wamuncha I think you barely play the track if you want to have a top time. Like you don't even like it's not very interesting. Like you start, you turn left a little bit around a rock. Then you try and you aim for hitting like a small section on another rock. And then you pray that you flew or that you fly to where you need to go. it like and hope that like you jump off the rocks in the right way. Like it's not that interesting. Like well, the shortcut itself is decently interesting, but like you barely play the actual track. Like you're on the actual intended part of the track for like 6 seconds before you just um go fly off and try to land in the castle and land this castle. Like actually you're on the intended part for literally like 6 seconds. Not even a joke. Like that track is pretty interesting. Probably not the best for time trials. If I'm not quite sure if the windmills do actually work the same as the rotating house in Lviv, I think it's called. Because that thing is a pain because it doesn't reset where it is. If you restart the time trial, or well, if you press restart, it just stays where it was. And then continues on its loop, which is really annoying. And sometimes you can get fucked over by it. And like, why? There's no reason that should work like that. It doesn't really fuck you over that much, but like, and it's in the very beginning of the map, so it ain't that bad. But like, if you try to do Ninja properly, with no shortcuts, and the windmills, if they work the same, I'm not quite sure if they do, but that would be painful. Oh my god, that wasn't even good enough. I probably messed up the jump to the fences though. Because I think I jumped when the fences were closer, which probably didn't exactly make it the best. Because of the fences. Well, it'd probably be better if I like jumped and then barely hit the top of the fence. And then did it like that. Or even just jumped over to that side. Since the fences actually, I think, slow you down quite a bit. If you hit them head on. Did I even hit the edge there? I can't even tell. Oh no, I stopped. I let go. Probably was pretty slow on this. If we're not jumping off that little hill by like 19, then that's probably too slow for having absurd luck at the end. It's like 2 seconds there. Yeah, it's like 4 seconds. Yeah. Like, I mean, ideally, I'd probably want to land on the high part of the hill after bouncing, I probably want to land like high part of that, and then turn hard enough to or to like be in like the middle by the next part. Jump, then be like, oh, and then jump like being able to get to the it's on the left straight away. I feel like that's probably just the best way that you can do it. Um, with my way of doing it at least. Well, probably not. No, not with my way, but it's probably around the best you can get. That I can see. Obviously, I'm probably not gonna be able to actually do that. Oh my god. Yeah. At this point, I just don't really have much to say. Why did I jump there? I knew I was gonna hit off the thing. I could have had like a 27 probably like an hour ago. One of those really good runs that I got. Where I panicked the time that I panicked and jumped. When I probably could have made it. I'm still not even sure if I could have made it, but like I'm pretty sure it was just starting to turn to the left. Or actually moved to the left by the time that I jumped. So I probably could have made it. I really need to stop facing in like that much left right there, because the more that I'm turning, the more that I'm losing speed. Like that. And that causes it to not quite work. You know, if you didn't do it like that, you could probably. Ooh, wait, can I? I'm not sure if you can enter that effectively. I have no idea. Not sure how the setup is, or how actually getting aligned to do it would be. Right? Like, I mean, probably do it. Probably get it up there. The bounce might not be big enough to make it worth it. Yeah, probably not. I was thinking of like bouncing off of one of those corners, or on one of the corners, and hoping that it flies close enough to the castle, but that's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to be even more luck dependent than than this one already is. Also, I could try dabbling with out of bounds a bit. Since you don't get immediately called back in, um, if you go out of bounds, um, it takes a second or two, you being out of bounds for it to count. So if you're fast enough, you can bounce off of something, that's not on the intended part of the track. Um, like the best way I can see of using that would probably be like a bounce off of like a sand dune. Like bounce off of that one, and that probably wouldn't even work that well. It's probably only how to really work much better with this. Also, I wonder if I'm gonna be able to do any of these, or if I'm gonna try to do any of these shortcuts in the game, or in a speed run, because like I can do them. Oh, that was so close. Like I can do some of them, like slightly consistently. Like for example, getting a bounce off of this would be a thing that I do in a real run. It would only really save 3 seconds, which probably wouldn't really make up for the fact that I might have to, like, yeah, I probably actually wouldn't want to do that, but like, there are some easier shortcuts, that, still save a decent amount of time. But a lot of the shortcuts in this game are very, very luck dependent. Or well, essentially luck. Where you just sort of like try and hope that you get the right bounce that you need to go fast in other cases. Um, so yeah. Like especially things like in Oxfordshire, it's definitely not going to be worth it to do that cut since it saves like half a second from the normal way. And like that is just not worth it at all for how difficult it actually is, and it's probably not even really gonna save you that much time. It's really not gonna save you like any time with how risky it is, and also the fact that you have to also get a good cut for it to even really save that much time at all. I might not do battle at all since I can. Well, maybe I'll do battle. Just gotten really sidetracked with this game. I might just stop stream and do this sometimes with this. Yeah, I might do that. I got the vaccine, like, Okay, cool. I guess you do. Yeah. That's right, terminology. Yay, winner. If I don't get in like the next like 10 minutes. Oh my god. Yeah. I don't think that would be fine. Yeah, well, hello everybody. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Is there anyone okay. Well, actually, let's see. Let me turn me up a little bit. So let's turn up just two. Oh, wait, no, that's me. How people are streaming make this free. Okay. Okay, this. You can do roots of this. Okay.